Good evening from North Yorkshire. The King of England has just declared the Black Death a global pandemic. This is Natalie Salco reporting for The Londoner. Our first guest this evening is a world-renowned doctor who will address the newest concerns surrounding this pandemic. Welcome, Dr. Erin Logue.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for joining us. Could you please update us on the latest statistics concerning the Black Death?
The numbers are uncertain at this time, but the death toll is at least 73,000.
Thank you. These numbers are frightening and certainly rising. Dr. Logue, could you please inform us about the newest technology used to cure this disease?
As we have known for a while now, placing frogs and letting them burst on the swelling skin has been proven to shrink the infected areas, making this the best treatment option available. Because frogs are in such high demand, manufacturers are having a hard time keeping up. Basically, medical professionals have been forced to reuse frogs on patients. On average, doctors use a single frog up to 3 times, or surprisingly, one frog has been known to be used on 10 different patients.
Wow, these really are desperate times. Are there any other cures that seem to be effective?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I've read reports that swallowing crushed emeralds may help, but obviously this is only for the wealthy. Other treatments include bloodletting using leeches or rubbing cut-up herbs on the infected areas.
Final question. We are all seeking to keep our families safe during these unprecedented times. Can you share with us how to best prevent this disease?
It's been scientifically proven that not bathing or sitting in sewers for at least 5 hours a day really reduces your chance of contracting the illness. Also, whipping yourself to make penance for your sins has shown increased rates in survival.
Well, I know you have important work to return to during these unprecedented times. Thank you for your time, Dr. Logue. Stay tuned for our next interview, a survivor of the Black Death. Hear her inspiring message of hope for this country. Up next is a survivor of the Black Death. Here she is, a survivor who lives to tell her story. Welcome, Kate Dingfield. It is a privilege to have you on. What is your message of hope for England tonight?
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that there is hope. So if you're experiencing any symptoms of the plague, please, I urge you to go seek medical attention from one of the fully equipped doctors out there ready to help you fight this plague. Secondly, I would like to say that if you have any friends or family out there, please go tell them how much you love them, because there's no telling how bad your case may be. These times that we are in are filled with the uncertainty of our futures. And finally, I would like to emphasize that this isn't a joke. So please follow the protocols that have been set out for you and stay home, practice social distancing, and take sewage baths.
That was very touching. Now let's move on to discuss the treatments that helped cure you.
Sure. The treatment I received included both leeching and frogs. This treatment was very effective, and I will forever be grateful to the doctors who gave me my immediate care.
Astonishing. Thank you so much for coming on today to share your promising story, Kate.
My pleasure.
Up next, we'll be talking to someone who is on the front lines of this pandemic.
Dr. Erin Logue, here to demonstrate how you can use frogs to cure yourself of the plague. Step 1. Find a frog. Frogs are stealthy animals. They like hiding in bushes, trees, and bodies of water, so finding one can be very difficult. Next, you need to set the frog on the infected area. Now, you're going to let the frog sit on the infected skin for as long as it takes until the frog explodes. Once the frog explodes, the swelling should be down and you'll be cured. Now you know how to properly use a frog and cure yourself from the Black Death.
And we're back. Our next interview is a highly qualified barber surgeon, Emma Wright, who has treated over 175 people in the last month. Let's go on to the interview. You're on, Dr. Wright.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Alright, let's get to it. For starters, we know that the death toll is up today. It has risen by at least 150% since yesterday. Can you explain this abrupt rise?
Of course, people are not observing the protocol of social distancing, thus keeping at least 6 feet from those around you. Furthermore, people need to remember to not cut their sewer time short. Also, a reminder not to bathe. It only furthers the disease.
Wow, that is amazing. I would also like to ask you about your understanding of the best cures.
The frog method is on the rise. It is also obvious that bloodletting is one of our most effective treatments we have available. This is my realm of expertise. I have cut off hundreds of infected limbs. A colleague of mine has tried leeching, and this treatment has been successful. Another option includes whipping oneself for penance.
Well, thank you for these new insights. It's not often that we have such highly qualified experts on our show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
That's all for tonight, folks. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I'll see you there. Good evening from North Yorkshire, where surrounding the blah update. Says update us.
What? Are you going now?
Yeah.
I can't see.
If you have any no. Oh my god, I can't.
Okay. Oh.
This is the frog.